QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking, Panther Nation? It's Rashad back in the building. Just went live yesterday to break down our thoughts on the live stream versus the Titans. And disappointed in that loss, but the news just broke. News just broke that the Carolina Panthers have relieved Frank Reich of his duties, according to sources, including Ian Rappaport and a bunch of others, Tom Priscillo. A bunch of folks have now said that Frank Reich is up out of here. One would think that, once you get this notification that, I would be through the moon excited. And I see a lot of y'all in the chat. Y'all are like, yo, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're so great. Yeah, Frank Reich fired. And then, it's out of here and he's gone. But I got to be honest with y'all. I'm not moved. This does nothing for me. This move does nothing for me, bro. The firing of Frank Reich does absolutely nothing for me, bro. It didn't do. I didn't get overly excited. I didn't get. You would think that, hey, we're moving on, but it does nothing for me, bro. It does nothing for me. I got to be honest with you, and here's why. Right here, and so once you read through the tweets, right? Okay, so let's just break this down. Just so those that don't know, special teams coordinator Chris Tabor is now going to be the interim coach, right? And he's going to be addressing the team. Jim Caldwell now moved to special advisor and working with the offense. Well, what the hell was he prior? What was he prior? What was Jim Caldwell prior to today? Was he always? He was always supposed to be an offensive, an offensive advisor. He was always supposed to be that. So I don't really like. Honestly, I would have thought that Evero would have been the best pick to be interim head coach. Chris Tabor has been around the longest. I get his fire. He probably has the most productive group of the three coordinators, special teams, defense. They've been playing absolutely lights out, considering all the circumstances and injuries that they dealt with. So I don't really know. Tabor is an interesting pick to be. I like Tabor. I do like Tabor a lot. He's an interesting pick to be the interim head coach. I would have went with Evero, and I would have let Evero run with this through through the rest of the season and likely going into 2024. You know what I'm saying? So Tabor is interesting. Now, listen, I'm not opposed to it, but I think what's happening is that I think that Dave Tepper wants experience there. He wants experience. He doesn't want a guy doesn't have any experience. And I don't know if Tabor has any head coaching experience. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think Tabor has any head coach experience, but he's been around the longest, one of the most experienced on the staff. So I think that Tepper just said, hey, I want to go with the most experienced guy. He went with inexperienced and Matt Rule, and he wants an experienced guy. So T Holiday said he don't want Evero to succeed like and do like Wilkes. Maybe. I don't know. I don't shout out to T Holiday though. He was an interim with the Bears, so he has more experience. He has been an interim before, so that makes sense, right? That goes in line with my theory that he wants experience there at head coach, which reeks of desperation. But I got to be honest with y'all. This move does nothing for me, bro. Firing Frank Reich does not, and maybe they catch a fire. Maybe the team plays inspired and they say, all right, we're gonna these last 7 weeks, we're gonna play hard for Tabor and we're gonna do what we got to do to make this competitive like they did last year with Wilkes. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Greer says, I bet he asked Evero and got turned down like Denver. Maybe he did ask Evero. We don't know. We'll never know that. We'll never know. The world will never know unless Evero moves on next year and it comes out somebody asked him. I don't think Evero is that type of guy to pillow talk. You know what I mean? I don't see that in Evero. So I don't know, bro. Listen, this does nothing for me, bro. I see y'all excited. I get it. Short-term excitement. I get you. I get it. I get it. I get it. But bro, I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. I'm not moved by this, but maybe I'm just numb. Maybe I'm just numb. As a Panther fan, I'm super numb and I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like over it. I see y'all saying Fitty is next. Bro, this looks like it. This is a completely inept. You fired 2 head coaches mid-season. We have no idea what we're doing, bro. This is the absolute laughing stock of the National Football League. We are the epitome of how not to run a team from an ownership perspective. This is just, it looks bad, bro. It looks bad. It looks bad. It looks bad, bro. And where do you go from here? Right? Okay, you fire Frank Reich. So what? What's the next move? What is the long-term plan here? You fire Frank Reich, and I had this same concern if you fire Frank Reich at the end of the season. What's the plan, right? Okay, because this is something I wanted to say for the Tuesday show, but let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation about what happens moving forward, right? So poor Frank Reich, poor Bryce Young. Already, he getting beat up game after game. He's getting his ass handed to him game after game, getting sacked, pressured, game after game, right? Now you're dealing with a new head coach, your rookie season, very similar to what what Trevor Lawrence had to deal with. And kudos to Jacksonville, they did get it right. They got the right call. They hired Peterson, and things seem to be on the up and up for Jacksonville. But you fired this man's head coach that drafted him middle of the season, right? And what's going to happen? You still got Fitterer at GM. You have to find a head coach that fits and wants to coach Bryce Young, because this is what happens. This is what happens when you make decisions as an owner, right? And now you have to lie in this bed. Now you have to find your coach, your pool of coaches is now limited to say, all right, I got to find a guy that wants to not only work with me as an owner and my management style. A head coach doesn't even know if they're going to get the buy-in long term. You don't even know if you're going to get the buy-in long term from your owner if you don't get stuff done immediately. There's no patience from the ownership, and I'm not saying this is the right call. I'm just saying I'm not saying this is the wrong call. Excuse me, for Tepper to fire to fire Wright. I'm just saying from an outside perspective, you've got head coaches coming, potential head coaches looking at this, bro. You fired a guy midseason. You gave him 2.5 years. You fired him. You brought in a new guy after 12 weeks. You fired him. Like, I don't know. I can't deal with this, bro. I don't want to deal with this. And I'm getting a quarterback handed to me. Right? I have to work with this quarterback that you've selected, and I'm now tied to him as a quarterback that I didn't choose as a head coach. Right? Come, like, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot to deal with. And I see all the names y'all are talking about. I see all the names y'all are talking about. But see, Eddie, here's the thing. Eddie, that's one piece of the puzzle. Great, you find a head coach that wants to work with Bryce. Cool. But what about the other things with Tepper as an owner that you have to deal with? The meetings, right? That's great. You find a coach that wants to work with him. But that says nothing to the ownership and the micromanagement and the lack of patience that you're gonna have to get instant results. And I'm with it. I'm with it. Like, I want it done right too. But y'all got to keep in mind, even with Kyle Shanahan went 6-10 his first season, and he's great that things are off to the races. All we want to see is progression, bro. It's progression, bruh. So I just think you're going to be hard pressed. I mean, y'all act like guys didn't turn down. I keep seeing y'all saying, "Oh, it's 32 head coaches. It's 32 head coaching jobs, and you're gonna find somebody." Yeah, we found Frank Reich. What about the other guys that turned the position down? What about those guys? What about the Miko Ryans who's balling right now with the Texans that turned the position down? What about the other guys that y'all don't want to talk about that, huh? Because that's happening. That's happening out there. Like guys are legit turning this down, right? And we end up what we end up with. And just because a guy took the job doesn't mean he's the right guy. I.e., Frank Reich. He took the job while others said, "Nah, I'm good." Shout out to Chris Mack. I think Chris Mack is right. We need a head coach that's going to tell Tepper to back off. I agree. I 1000% agree. Like you have to. And listen, this is why I love tracking Jed York and the Kyle Shanahan situation, because Kyle Shanahan, when according to the interviews that I've been researching, Kyle Shanahan went in to Jed York's office and told the truth. He told Jed York the truth about the way the 49ers were ran. We need somebody that's going to come into Tepper's office and say, "Yo, this is how you've been doing it. It's wrong. Let me cook." That's what we need. We need somebody that's gonna go in there and say, "Hey, yo, bro, I need you to back off. I got it. Let me do my thing, bro." And then they have to deliver. If you're gonna talk that talk, you gotta deliver for sure. But I 1000% agree with Chris Mack. I agree. I agree 1000%, bro. 1000%. A hero's pass says hedge funds pick losers, not winners. Winners for profit. I agree. I agree. Omar Tillman says, facts, this job is so undesirable, young or old. I mean, bro, there's a lot of things, bro. A lot of things. It's a lot of things out there, bro. That it's deeper than just getting a head coaching position, bro. It's all over. I was reading an article last night on Pro Football Talk, talking about David Tepper and who's gonna want to come here. Right? Bro, it's out there. Like we follow the Panthers and we not stupid. These are people that are gonna, and excuse me, other head coaches and people around the league are not stupid. They see what's going on out here. James Cameron, man, I appreciate you. James Cameron says Tep's going to hire another coach who looks like him, talks like him, and smells like him. Tep is the problem. He needs to step down as an owner. He's not going to step down, but we do need him to fall back and let somebody cook. He needs to let somebody cook. Y'all keep and y'all, I keep hearing y'all say the money. Yeah, he's wasting a lot of money with these coaches. The money, he could throw money at guys, but that ain't changing nothing, bro. He threw big money at Matt Rule, changed nothing. Threw big money. I'm sure he threw big money at this entire staff. Didn't change anything. The money is not the bro. We need a guy that can coach. The money ain't working. D'Amico turned it down because he thought it was a Rooney Rule interview. As a 49er fan, Shanahan had a lot of leverage because other people wanted him. True. That's very true. That's very true. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I think it's deeper than turning it down just because of Rooney Rule. Because we had already it wasn't just a Rooney Rule. We had already fulfilled the Rooney Rule thing. We had already fulfilled that. We had already interviewed Wilkes. We had interviewed Evero. We have fulfilled that already. So I think it's deeper than the Rooney Rule, my personal opinion. So we fire Frank, promote special teams coordinators interim instead of Ejiro. Bro, I agree. I think Ejiro should have been the guy, but we can only speculate that that maybe Tep did offer the position to Evero and Evero didn't want it. That's only speculation. We don't know that to be true. So I'm not going to sit up here and spew that as the truth because we don't know. I personally think Ichiro should have been offered the interim job and should be offered the role full time. But yeah, it is what it is. D Till says, why Tabor for interim, not Deuce, not Ichiro special teams coach. I talked about this earlier, but I think the reason why that Tepper decided to roll with Chris Tabor as the interim head coach is because Chris Tabor has the most experience. He has experience being the interim. He knows how to go through. He's been through this with the Bears, I believe, and so he knows how to do this. The other guys haven't been head coaches before. They don't know what it's like, and so you can look based off of what Tepper has done. He's overcorrecting. He went with Matt Rule, had zero experience as a head coach, and now he hired Frank Reich because he had all the experience in the world, right? That's the reason why he hired Frank Reich over some of the other guys because he's got experience, and now he's going with experience again with Chris Tabor. So it's experience thing. You can see it, bro. You can see the Tepper thinks like a stock guy. Like he's gonna go with the trend. He's gonna go with what he thinks is the right move and where he thinks he should go. I think he doesn't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I'm with y'all. I think Evero should have been the guy. Evero should have been the guy that should have been promoted. But we can only speculate that it was offered to him and maybe he declined. We don't know. We don't know if it was offered to him or not. But I think that Evero should have been the guy. Mango Cole, my man Preston says, man, yeah, this is where we are, bro. This is where we are. This is where we are, bro. Yeah, we don't know, bro. We don't know if Evero's offered a job. I'm not going to sit up here and speculate like I know that to be true. But yeah. Just Zoe said, man, I appreciate all the super chats coming in too, man. What up, Shad? Is Fitterer next? I think so. But bro, here's the thing, bro. And maybe this is the way my brain works, and that maybe I'm overanalyzing it. Y'all know me. Sometimes I get over analytical and I kind of overthink things. But I always think years in advance. So it's not just about what we have in front of us. It's about 2024. Whoever is brought in, this is why I don't think Fitterer is going anywhere. Fitterer basically built this team, right? Fitterer built this team. Fitterer, it's been around a long time under Matt Rule. He's been around for and drafted a lot of these pieces. Whether he's had final say or not, he's been around as GM and brought some of the pieces in, right? He is given direction by the owner to say, and this is all speculation, that, hey, Bryce is the guy. We move up, we get Bryce. So now you got to find a head coach that wants to work with Bryce Young. Cool, you might be able to find that. Like Eddie said earlier, you could probably find some guys that can work with Bryce Young. Cool. Now the ownership and the micromanagement and the way things are operated day to day, maybe there's some coaches that may not want to work with that. We don't know. It's all speculation, right? But then let's say you hypothetically fire the GM. Let's say you fire Fitterer. Boom, Fitterer's gone. The GM has been given no limited draft capital, available cap space. It's mid. You got big decisions to make with Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Frankie Louvu, and you've got a limited draft capital, right? So I think personally, that this is my the way I think about it. I think that Fitterer is going to stay around to at least 2024, and how the 2024 season goes, I think that's when Tepper is going to finally decide to clean house. Because you're given a half-eaten plate. Yo, you need somebody to go to somebody went to the buffet for you and started eating off the plate, and now you got leftovers to deal with. You don't even eat chicken, bro. You vegan, and you got all this stuff on your plate that you don't even eat. That's what the GM is dealing with. A new GM would deal with right now if you fire Scott Fitterer. It's a bunch of half-eaten food that I don't even like on this plate, and you eating off another man's fork. You did. Somebody's gonna pick your head coach, right? Somebody's gonna pick your head coach because let's say if Fitterer is not fired, if Fitterer is not fired. Somebody's picking the head coach. Your GM's already chosen for you. Like, it's a mess, bro. It's a mess. It is a mess. And this is why I think. This is why I think they're gonna keep some of the staff together. They're gonna keep some of the staff together. This high-paid staff that Tepper invested in and think he's right, right? They're keeping the staff around. Tabor, somebody's gonna get promoted to be the full-time head coach next season. Fitterer stays around. Boom. If it don't work out in 2024, no progression, that's when everybody's getting fired. 2025, you clean house. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, prepare yourselves, bro. Prepare yourselves. Hey, y'all can try to speak it into existence. Bingo. Squeaky cheeks. Pause. Tep is not gonna fire his yes man. Bingo. Bingo. I'm just saying, bro. I could be way off, but I'm just saying, bro. Listen, it is what it is, bro. I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. My personal opinion. Real quick, we got 700 people in this building. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here too, by the way. Hit the sub button for your boy trying to get 22,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button for your boy, man. I greatly appreciate that. But it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. A-Cash says, pretty sure this is the shortest head coach tenure ever with the team. It is. Oh, with any team. I'm not sure. Urban Meyer, when was Urban Meyer fired? I don't know. But it's ugly, bro. It's ugly. It's ugly, bro. It's ugly, bro. It's ugly. It's ugly, bro. We are not in a good place. We are not in a good place, bro. We are not in a good place. And I'm telling you, I don't feel good. Man, I'm hoping that the team gets inspired and plays well. New direction. Hopefully we see some new offensive wrinkles and things get better. And we can start to see some positivity. And maybe things will get better. But I'm highly skeptical, bro. I'm highly skeptical. Yeah, and Frank Reich, bro. Listen, maybe he should have taken a year off. A lot of people were saying that, but it's a great point. Shout out to Uncle Quan. That's a great point. Let me scroll back up, see if I can find it. He got fired mid-season, back-to-back years with two different organizations. True. I mean, it doesn't take. I saw somebody tweet like, "What was the positives behind hiring Frank Reich? Like, what boxes did he check?" Right, and I asked this. It's a great question. What boxes did he check, bro? You just got fired. You just hired a dude that got fired mid-season last year. You just hired him. Like, bro, it's a lot of decisions, man. A lot of decisions around this organization just make you scratch your head, bro. A lot of things just make you scratch your head. And poor man, all the players, man. Shout out to the players because they're dealing with a lot, bro. Some of these dudes only been here like 2 years and dealt with 4 different coaches already. Think about that for a second. Think about the dudes that was drafted last year. Not this season, but last season. Think about the guys. They've had 4 different coaches already, bruh. Between Matt Rule, Wilkes, Reich, and now in Tabor. Bro, think about that for a second. Now, David Tepper has he just made history. He just made history, matter of fact. He has now, David Tepper has now had 5 head coaches under his watch. 5. Let's count them up. Rivera, Matt Rule, Wilkes, Reich, and now Tabor. Bro, we've only had, is it 6? Who's the 6th one? Who's the 6th one? Am I tripping? Who am I missing? Oh, Fuel. Yeah, Fuel. Yes, absolutely. I did forget Fuel. He was interim. So you're right. That is 6. Bro, we've only had like 10 in our whole history, bro. Perry Fuel. Shout out to Perry Fuel. We've only had like 8 in our entire history, bro. And 6 of them have been under David Tepper, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Third interim coach for David Tepper. Shout out to Dave. Third interim coach for Tepper. This is wild. We look foolish out here, bro. And look at me. Look at me. Just a fool. Boo-boo the fool with all this Panther. Look at me. Look at it. Boo-boo the fool over here. Just fanning out. All this Panther stuff on. Boo-boo the fool over here, bro. Six head coaches under this dude, bro. 6. And we just expected this. The next one gonna be the right guy. The next one gonna be the right guy, bro. This is why things need to change. This is why I'm telling y'all it's not gonna matter. Frank Reich fired, cool. Hey, bet. Sounds great. Awesome. But history shows us that this not gonna do anything. Okay, bet. Fire Fitterer. Oh, cool. Let's fire Fitterer. Get him out of here. Who's to say? Hey, Tap gonna pick the next guy. So what does that change? What does anything change? Nothing changes. We've had 3 GMs, 2 GMs now. Nothing changes. Nothing changes, bro. So, like, and again, this is why my energy has never been directed at Frank Reich. It's never been directed at Scott Fitterer. It's never, bro. It's none of them, bro. It's none of them to me. None of them. None of it changes, bro. None of it changes for me. There we go. Somebody shout out to Underrated Jay. He looked it up real quick. Urban Meyer got fired in 13 games. Frank Reich in 11. Probably the shortest head coaching tenure ever. And we making history on all kinds of levels. Somebody Google that for me. Somebody chat GPT that joint and let me know. What's the shortest head coaching tenure in NFL history? I swear that's probably it, bro. Eddie says, in an ideal situation, how do you want the rest of the season and offseason to play out? Great question. Let's speak some positivity into this because I'm tired of complaining. You're right. Let's see how things could go. Second shortest tenure. Y'all saying second shortest tenure. Who was the shortest? Was it Saban? Tepper is Snyder 2.0 when it comes to managing a football team. Hey, and shout out to Jared. And listen, worse than Snyder, because listen, at least Snyder got off to a quicker start. At least Snyder got some W's. Snyder got some W's to his belt. Hackett. Somebody said David saying Hackett was quicker. Schefter just tweeted it was Pete McCauley 9 games. Belichick 1 day with the Jets. They're saying, yeah, so that's what they're saying. Listen, I don't know. It's too much. It's too much. Y'all, I asked, y'all, say Steve was the Cardinals. He had 1 year, bro. All right, so let me go back to Eddie's question. Y'all, that was a lot that came at me. Pause. Let me see. What was Eddie's question? Eddie's question was, how do I envision the rest of the season and what do I want to happen in the offseason? Here's what I want to happen. And here, what I would like to happen. This is what I would like to happen. Listen, I want to see progression with Bryce. I need to get a good look at Bryce Young. The first 12 games of this season, we have not been able to evaluate Bryce Young. I don't care what any naysayers, all y'all that don't like Bryce, cool. I get it. You haven't had a lot of good things to look at. I get it. But unfortunately, the truth of the matter, and nobody's going to say this, but only the people, I'm not going to say nobody, only the people that aren't trying to prove a point would say that we haven't had a good look at Bryce Young. We just haven't. We cannot evaluate Bryce Young as a quarterback. We can't. Bryce Young is on pace to be sacked the most times in as a rookie quarterback. His offensive line, we don't have a run game. There is no run game. We can't get a good look at Bryce Young. So we don't know what Bryce Young is. I need to see progression from Bryce Young. I need to see offensive progression. I need to see the run game get going. I want to see a power run, scrap this little inside zone or zone run stuff, go back to the power run, impose our will on guys, mano y mano, and let's get back to that. That's the kind of team that's the type of offensive line this has been built to be. Let's go with that, and hopefully let's see if it opens up. And to Noli's point, me and Noli got into a back and forth about it being the scheme versus the offensive line. Right, I think the offensive line still has limitations, but to his point, the offensive line looked way better under Wilkes, right? And the power run is what got it done. Let's go back to that. Open up the pass by setting up the run, get the play action going, like my man Hunger Man Jumper 23 says. Open up the run, open up the pass, and let's see what we can get out of Bryce. Let's see what we can get out of Bryce. Let's see if we can really build around Bryce and get some momentum going into next season. That's what I want to see. Let's get some division wins. Let's go 3-0 in the division the next 3 games, right? Let's close strong. That's what I want to see. Defense is doing their thing. And guess what? I have a firm belief that J.C. Horn's coming back, C.J. Henderson coming back. I think that Jeremy Chin is going to come back. That defense is going to be elevated. We're going to be much better. The defense is going to be, they've already been playing well. And I think the fireable offense for Frank Reich was blaming the defense yesterday. That's a fireable offense. You coming out there and say we needed to create more turnovers when your offense can't move the football, that's a fireable offense. Shout out to the defense. They've been balling. Eva Rowe has been doing this thing. And they ain't been perfect, but they've been much better. Much, much better. Frank Reich going out there yesterday and taking a shot at the offensive line, at the defense was unsatisfactory. You can't do that. When your offense, the offense that you run, has looked the way it looks, you can't say nothing about anybody. And that's a fact. So that was a fireable offense. So defense is going to get better. Our defense is going to get better. Cool. Already been playing great, but they're going to get better. With the additions of JC, JC finishes strong. Jeremy Chin finishes strong. We get some momentum going into next year. And I want to see this offense, bro, progression. I want to see us put up, our average right now is, and I tweeted the numbers today. We are on pace to be the second worst offense in Panther history, where we average under 100 yards rushing per game. Not good. I would like to see us over the next 6 games average over 300 yards total offense. That ain't too much to ask. Is our offense average over 300 yards per game? That's all I want. Right now, we are averaging 265 yards per game, averaging 20 or 15 points per game. I need to see that boosted. I need to see us hit over the next 6 games, averaging 300 yards per game, and I need to see us average at least 21 points per game. That's what I want to see offensively. Just the next 6-7 games, whatever's left. I think it's 7 games. 6-7 games. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see over the next 6-7 games. How many games are left? Progression, bro. Bryce is going to get better. The scheme, let's change the scheme, power run. Let's not get cute. Let's get back to old school Panther football. Run the football. You got some solid. Chuba's doing his thing, right? In fact, I would probably elevate Spencer Brown because he's probably the only big back you got. Pause. He's the biggest running back we got. Elevate him. Get a power running back going, and let's get this power run game going again. And then go into the offseason, bet. Let's see if some of these pieces, because now this is kind of where you get a clean slate from Fitterer and from here forward. Can somebody else work with what Fitterer has put on the table? Can one of your internal guys work with what's been put on the table for him? Let's share this plate. We went to the buffet, right? We sharing the plate. Fitterer, Tabor, right? We like the same food. We've been having the same food the past couple of years, right? Let's see. You like what I like. Let's see if we can get the most out of what we have. Because then you can, if things start to play well, the blame for Fitterer goes away. Who's to say that Frank Reich wasn't the linchpin to everything being terrible? We don't know. So this is isolation, right? We're starting to isolate our issues. You got rid of the coach, right? If another coach that's eating off the same plate can't get it done, then maybe it is Fitterer. Then at the end of the season, you get Fitterer out of here. You bring in a new head coach and a new GM. The problem with that is you hamstringing your GM and you hamstringing your coach from day one. And that's what I don't like about the situation. That's what I don't like about bringing in a new head coach and GM at this point. You got Tepper, you got guys that like the same food right now. You got guys that like the same food. They eating off the same plate. Tepper, Fitterer, and Tabor. They all like the same food. The next guys you bring in might not like chicken, bruh. They might not. They might like Bryce. They might like Bryce. They might not. They might not be able to work with the offensive line, right? So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to unpack. I just hope that what I would like to see is a little bit of continuity for Bryce, right? I would like to see the bulk of this staff stay together because on paper the staff is solid. Maybe it was Frank that was just a bad leader. We don't know. So if we look good over the next 6 games, let's elevate somebody internally. Maybe it's Deuce. Maybe it's Deuce Staley. Boom, Deuce Staley goes and he's the head coach. And then if it doesn't go well, then if none of the pieces you work with they can't do it in 2025 when you have a ton of capital and you're probably going to have a ton of cap space, a ton of draft capital, and a ton of cap space. That's when you clean slate. That's when you give your head coach and your new GM a brand new buffet to work from. But right now, the pieces are it's so conflated. Everything is so mixed and intermingled. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. So I say if I'm Tepper and I'm giving Scott Fitterer his direction. Hey, Scott, 2024, this is it, bro. You got one last year to show and prove. You can't touch any 2025 capital. You created this bed. You're not touching no 2025 draft capital because we saving this, right? For the next guy. If you ain't it, we saving this draft capital. I'm not letting you give no crazy contracts. You might extend some of the key pieces, but this offseason, bro, hey, you gotta work with what you got. You gotta work with what you got. 2024, we go into the next offseason, and we work with whatever we can get. That's what we get. And if it don't work, then we clean the slate in 2025. Yeah, so this is a great point. Jim says Miami made a mistake of keeping defensive staff loyal to a fired coach. It doesn't work. Can't do that to a new coach. That's why I'm saying. That's why I think the internal hire the head coach needs to be internal. I think this staff's been put together on paper is solid. On paper, and it ain't worked out in real life. But I'm saying you keep it together. I'm all I'm saying is right now, if you clean the slate and you new head coach, new GM, you're giving them a rough start. That's all I'm saying. You're giving them a rough start. You're giving them, you're hamstringing them. They're starting their coaching tenure and GM tenure with their hands tied behind their back. And then there's this. I mean, I'm not. Listen, I know if Dave was on the pod, he would definitely say it. So I'm gonna put it up here because I'll leave it. I'll just put it up there and leave it at that. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm not gonna open that because things get sensitive around here. But I'll leave it at that, bro. Evero should be the internal hire. I agree. But if he's not the internal hire, if he is the internal hire, then why isn't he interim right now? Is the question. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make. I mean, I agree. He should be the interim right now, but I feel like Tepper went with the experience there. Boy, this is. Call Me Bezo says we should be an attraction for a head coach because our division is not good. That's not the only reason, bro. That's one aspect to it, but there's so many different layers, bro. It's not just because the division sucks. You got to deal with Tepper. You got to deal with the lack of draft capital. You got to deal with the lack of cap space. You got to deal with potentially working with the GM that you may not rock with because he may keep Fitterer around. There's a lot to deal with, bro. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with, bro. I think this is it, and I agree with Eddie. He says maybe because felt Tabor had more experience with the roster. He has a more experience, period, and with the roster. So I agree. I think that's what it was. Yeah, but it ain't good, man. It ain't good. And again, I think it's firing Reich is a step in the right direction. Don't get me wrong. It's a step in the right direction, but long-term play, I don't know that it changes anything in my head. Joey says, any chances of us going after Ben Johnson again? I mean, we should. We absolutely should. Are we? I don't know. This too. Scouting department needs to be revamped. I agree. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000% agree, Nate. Good point. Great point. Y'all asking me why Deuce and why Evero aren't the interims, bro? I can't answer that. All I can point to is experience, bro. That's all I can say is Tabor has more experience than the other two. As he's been an interim before with Chicago, I want to say, and he just got more experience. That's all I can say. I don't have the answers. My man said Hollywood Gaming says the medical staff need to be reevaluated. Absolutely, everything, bro. Everything, bro. I mean, for next head coach, man, I need a young. Listen, I hate to say we should bring an offensive mind in, bro. I hate to go down that route and say, yeah, we should. I still feel that way. But damn, if you're gonna deliver me a Reich again, I don't want it. If Reich, listen, I don't want that. I don't want that. I think it forces Tepper's hand if he promoted Evero to head coach. It would be Steve Wilkes' situation all over again. But yeah, Steve Wilkes' situation worked out. You should, in my opinion, that doesn't make sense because you should want Steve Wilkes' situation to happen again. You should want guys to play hard for a guy and end the season on a high note. And then you should want to rewrite the mistake and hire the guy that you should have hired in the first place. You should want to rewrite that mistake. You should be begging for that. You should be begging for a second go with that. Except he wants an offensive head coach. Oh, no, this is the one I wanted. Why Big Joe? Tepper already has a guy in mind. I think that's true too. I think he did that, and I think Tepper is hedging his bets. Why Big Jordan says Tepper wants an offensive guy. I want an offensive guy too. I'm on record saying Ben Johnson was the guy I wanted. There's a couple other guys. There's a couple of other guys, but a young guy. I want a young. I mean, giving me Mike McDaniel vibes. That's what I want, bro. That's what I want around here. Somebody that thinks outside the box, takes chances, looks at the game different. Not somebody where the game is past them. I think Frank Reich, the game just passed them, bro. It's been several people, those that break down the film, which is not me. I'm not a film guru by any means. But those that do just said, that, yo, the game is past Frank Reich, bro. He's not innovative. I want the innovative mind, bro. Somebody's going to change the game. My man B&B Chirac Vet says, keep it a buck shot. You don't really believe him. I do. I think Bryce can do something here, bro. He's showing me some in the limited things that we have seen. And again, we can't read. We can't effectively get a read on Bryce Young with the way the offensive line is played, the way that the offensive has been called, or the offense has been called, we can't get a read on him. So I don't really know. It's inconclusive right now. I think he can. I just think he's been given a raw deal, bro. My man Jay Hyde, yeah, March on Mint. Yeah, man, we doing it's not the March on Mint is going to be a reverse boycott. That's what it's going to be, not necessarily a march. We're doing a reverse boycott. Got the shirt design ready. Shout out to Too Busy. She made it yesterday. Sent me the link, so I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it put on a shirt, and hopefully I can get it printed. If I can, I think my wife can make the my wife might be able to make the first go at it. We'll see. We'll see if she can put it on a shirt. I might wear it tomorrow. Casey says, respectfully, I need glasses. Well, I wear contacts, so my vision is corrected already. But he said BY ain't it. Maybe not. Casey, maybe not. I have yet to make that determination. I've seen some positive things out of Bryce. I've seen some negative things out of Bryce. It's too early to make that decision. That could come to that conclusion in my opinion. What manager, GM? I'm assuming that's what you mean. Should we try and go for? I don't know yet. Y'all are saying Bobby Slowick or Ben Johnson. Yeah, those are two big names out there. Two big names out there. Two big names out there. Obviously, Ben Johnson from last year. Slowick is currently working with the Texans as the offensive coordinator. So obviously, Bobby is cooking, and people are happy with what he's doing with CJ Stroud. So they want to bring him over. We don't know if that same is going to apply here, but don't have the same personnel. But maybe he is making it a lot easier for CJ Stroud over there for sure. Harbaugh on the list, of course. A lot of guys. Yeah, the lack of strong arm troubles me. Yeah, I think his arm isn't the biggest. He doesn't have the biggest arm. I think he has a capable arm, but it isn't the biggest arm for sure. I would agree there. Yeah, here we go. I'm with this. Or Miami. Any assistant GM for San Francisco, Philly, or Miami. I'm with that too. Taking assistant off of that. We need somebody that's innovative, bro. That's got the sauce. Bro. We need somebody with the sauce. Hey, Grandizer, I think you might be sending stuff to the old Facebook, bro. We got a new Facebook. We got a new Facebook. Sorry, give me 1 second, y'all. Jim Harbaugh is the word, right? That's what y'all talking about. Jim Harbaugh, bro. With Jim Harbaugh, you got to give him everything. You got to give him full control, bro. You got to give him full control. Kellen Moore. Hollywood Gaming said no one wants to come here. Y'all do realize that. That's part of it. Part of the equation. You got to get somebody that wants to come here. Again, they dealing with other people's half-eaten food. Going back to my buffet analogy. You working off somebody else's plate. It might work out. It might not. Generally, what happens, we've said this a million times. Coaches, when head coaches come in, they want to work with their guys, not a guy given to them. They want to be able to draft their own guys. They want to work with a GM that they meshed with and came in with. It ain't gonna work. It generally does not work when you're working with somebody else's quarterback that you didn't choose, and you're working with a GM that you didn't decide to work with. So, in my opinion, if Scott Fitterer is gone, cool, get rid of Scott Fitterer, but you got to bring in the GM and the head coach at the same time. Make sure they're on the same page. They still gonna be working with other people's plate. That's just the start. The That's the unfortunate part about it. You gotta take Bryce Young. You gotta take a lot of the pieces that are here. The way the contracts have been constructed, it's a lot of pieces going to be around here for the next couple years. And if you start to pull off the band-aid, start to cut some of those guys, dead money is going to go crazy, and you kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Yeah, this is true. Even if we get the head coach we want, Tepper, and his wife are still the common denominator. Yeah, man, they've got to change that. I need an announcement from them saying, "Yo, we are employing a new hiring process. We've outsourced it to X, Y, and Z, and they're gonna evaluate. And I'm gonna at least lean on. You ain't got to like fully lean on them, but at least say I'm gonna consider their approach, and maybe we can come to an agreement on a head coach. I mean, I obviously listen. It's his squad. He owns the squad. He's gonna run it the way he wants to, but he has got to come to some sort of self scouting situation and say, bro, listen, the way I've been doing it ain't working. I can't just throw money at a problem. I can't. It ain't been working. So I need him to announce that, bro. We doing things different, bro. We doing things different. We doing things different. And until we see that, the common denominator is right. Tepper and his wife, they making the decisions, bro. And it is what it is. This is true too. Great point. This is a great point from T. Driggs. And pick their own coaches. It seems like Tepper's picking assistant coaches as well. He picked the OC for Rule and picked the OC for Reich. There, yeah, there's some truth behind the Brady situation. That when Joe Brady was picked to be the OC for Matt Rule, that was the guy that Tepper wanted, and Tepper went and got him. That was not necessarily a pick for Matt Rule himself. There is some truth to that, and I don't know about this year. I don't know if Frank Reich was given all the maybe Tep just went out and said, "Yo, uh, you know, um, hey, you need to go hire XYZ," because I do feel like Reich did say, I think it was said somewhere where Reich was he did build some of the staff. I don't know. I don't know that to be true. But I do know the Joe Brady situation is there's some smoke to that. There's some smoke to that. Here we go. The game guy says we're basically the Bears from about 3 years ago. Pick the QB, fire everyone following season. This could get ugly. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I say 2025 is the year, bro. 2025. I'm chilling until 2025, clean slate. That's when it really gets interesting to where you can start to do things the right way. Um Rob Brown, shout out to Rob Brown, man, my guy. He says we can spend all damn day talking about who the next head coach is until Fitty is gone. Tepper starts being a crappy version of Jerry Jones. None of this matters. True. It's very true. Agreed. Said that 1,000 times. Agreed. Tom Priscillo said, look out for Ben Johnson. I would love the move since he was a big reason why Goff turned his career around. Ben Johnson would want to come here, but he would have to want to come here at the end of the day. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Very true. Very, very true. Very true, bro. Yeah, BK says Tepper needs to realize he needs to take a step back a little bit. You attract more birds with sugar water than salt. Build a better public view on the organization as a group. Who wants to change and innovate? Yeah, man. Listen, I think he's done a great job, David. And listen, I'm the biggest critic of David Tepper. He done some great jobs with the business side of it, but the football side of it has been complete trash, bro. It's been not good at all. He needs to change his ways. He needs to hire the best hiring strategic company because the way he's been running it, it ain't been that ain't it. The way he's doing it, the way it's going, it ain't going. It ain't going at all, bro. Yeah, but yeah, let's see what Twitter. Let me see what Twitter talking about. I know the Twitterverse is probably on fire, bro. Twitterverse is probably on fire. Let's see what Twitter talking about. The Panthers haven't even said anything. They haven't released a statement yet. Let's see if the Panthers release a statement. Yep. Oh, they're parting ways. Parting ways. Let's read the article. It says, here we go. The Panthers were looking for answers on the offense when they hired Frank Reich as head coach last offseason. They still are. The Panthers 1-10 parted ways with their head coach on Monday. 11 games to the season, we saw them make little progress on the side of the football pond, which they invested so many resources this offseason. Dave Tepper released a statement, says, I met with Coach Reich this morning and informed him we will not continue as head coach, that he will not continue as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. I want to thank Frank for his dedication and service, and we wish him well. Effective immediately, Coach did special teams coordinator Chris Tabor will serve as an interim head coach. Senior assistant Jim Caldwell will be special advisor to the offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, who will take over play calling duties. That's important. That wasn't said in the initial statement. Thomas Brown will take over play calling duties. Hopefully we get more McVay sauce because now he doesn't have to work from Frank Reich's little playbook. So hopefully we see some things change. Through 11 weeks, the Panthers ranked near the bottom of the league in total offense and scoring, haven't scored more than 15 points in the game since the bye week. They're 30th in the league in total offense and 30 in the passing game. Crazy. That's the article from the Carolina Panthers. Let's see here. Will Robinson said they need to get out the way and get this right. A bunch of PSL owners in my section, 339 email said they will not renew next season. Some of them have PSLs for 10 plus years. Keep pounding. Hey man, tell them to forward me that email. Forward that email. I can get my PSL section to send it as well. We'll attack from multiple angles. Send me that email, Will. PantherNationPodcast@gmail.com. See if you can get that email sent to me. They're saying nothing. My man said nothing is going to change. Yeah, man, maybe not. We'll see if Thomas Brown gets more freedom to work from his own system, right? Because we know Frank Reich brought in the system, the scheme. It was his scheme, sprinkled in with a little bit of a McVay sauce. Maybe Thomas Brown comes in and maybe things change. Maybe it's a little different. I don't know. All we can have is hope at this point. All we have is hope. Who are the teams with worst offense? I can tell you because he did say 30th. The article did say 30th. Let me see who's worse than ours. I was just looking at this morning too. Let's see here. Total yards. On average, it's the Giants and the Jets. Both New York teams have a worse offense than us. Both New York teams. All right, David Newton put out an article. Yeah, man. It would be great to get a press conference. Oh, wow. Oh, man, my screen went back. Okay, I'm back. Good. All right, it would be great to get who's going to run the press conference today because we should get a press conference at noon. I may go live again for the press conference to see, but we usually get a head coach's press conference after the game. So hopefully Tepper should. He released a statement. I doubt he is, but it'd be great to hear from your owner since he's the one that made the decision. And you notice how. See, here's the thing. Nobody's talking about this. You want to know why? You want to know how I know Scott Fitter ain't got nothing too much to do with what's going on here? Because the firing came from Tepper, not Fitterer. The GM is the one that's supposed to make the calls on releasing an owner or firing an owner. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Tepper is the one that released the statement, not Scott Fitterer. Your GM is supposed to be the one. And that might be the one who has the press conference today. See what I'm saying? Like that's how you know. That's how you know, bro. That's how you know Tepper is he's pulling all the strings. Oh, no media today. Shout out to Jay Hyatt. Of course not. Of course not. Shout out to Jay Hyatt, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But you can see it. You can see it, bro. You can see it. The GM ain't really the GM, bro. He might be gone at the end of the season. But what if things turn around though? He might be. He might be gone. But it's just a big mess, bro. It's all a big mess, fam. It's all the Panthers are a big mess right now. So it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. Hey Nate, you might as well get your mind right, bro. It's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen. He said no media today. They're talking to Jim Harbaugh. Nah, I was maybe. One can only hope. But anyway, man, I got stuff I got to do, man. 700 people. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Obviously, no media today. Hopefully, we'll get something tomorrow. I will go live tomorrow if there's anything, any press conferences over the next couple of days. I'll go live because I do want to see what Scott Fitterer or Dave Tepper say about this. How much does this set BY back? It may not set him back at all. It could boost him. Maybe Frank Reich was the one holding him back. It could boost them. But I do think, BY having to learn a new system and do it, it could. We don't know. We'll see. We will see. Oh, emergency segment on the Rob Brown show tomorrow. Yeah, I'm down. Rob, hit me up. I'm down. So as you can see right here, we're gonna go live with Rob Brown tomorrow. And I'll go live here on the channel as well. So hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, get in the comments. I still got to do mock draft. I haven't done mock draft Monday yet. I ain't even done it yet. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna do it today, later today. I haven't had time because I was actually doing some work, and then this one rang off, and then So anyway, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right. That said, man, I'll holler at y'all. I get out of here. I guess you can rejoice in the short term. Long term, we'll see if anything changes. I'm highly skeptical. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.